And so by the miracle of time travel, here we are. Let's come back to this 272 and finish it up. There's a bracket, plastic bracket, goes in with a couple of M5 screws. And this bracket just holds the intake kind of steady, I think. One, two. And now the intake piece itself. There is a rubber sealing piece that goes at the back of this that is sold separately. Don't know why, but so this rubber piece here indeed is sold separately, and it fits right in there. So now you can take this and press that fairly firmly down. And now it looks like we've got 4 speed screws. They look like that, and I of course only happen to have one. Great. Okay, so I cannot find a 4th screw. Been looking, and I just don't see it. And I can shove something in there, but I'm not going to. So, Dave, if you want a screw there, then by all means, actually here, take it off of here. And take it off of here, put it over here. So it'll be nice and easy if you actually want to add one here, which of course you should, but whatever. So here's your filter, ultrasonically cleaned, and then this. And of course I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I've got these, I know I've got clips. Got clips. Don't know how to fit them. So it looks like this piece, part of the clip goes in like that. That makes sense. And I'm gonna put this one here like that. So actually I can actually hold this, because I don't think I have gonna need to get a couple more clips. So properly there should be 4 screws, and they're about 1 inch long. Your seal is here. That goes there. And should be 4 clips. That should hold for now. Back over to the tensioner, which we missed. So this is probably the correct part. 501 537 101. So this is perfect for my E-clip mod. All you gotta do is get an E-clip, make sure it fits on here. These are 3/16 E-clips. You have to modify them a little bit or squeeze them or whatever, but the should be able to get that in here. So I ran a tap in there. This is an M5 screw. Chain catcher's on, tight, that's good. So we've got the top cover on and the muffler on just to check and see. This is an aftermarket cover and an aftermarket muffler. So what it looks like to me, actually what it looks like is I probably need to stick the chain brake on too. In here, back here, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of room. If you're creating a channel out, there's not a lot of room. You'd have to blow that out. But what I could do, this is the jungle muffler, so no spark screen on here. What I could do is make a slice. What a lot of guys do, and it's a pretty easy mod rather than having to put a deflector on here and whatnot. Just make a slice and open that up. I have an idea. I'm going to go right on the seam here effectively. I don't care about this muffler, so I'm just going to put a slot and open. I'm going to open a nice wide slot. Dave will like that. Dave, this is for you. So just a quick look. This aftermarket clutch cover looks fine. A little bit of funky paint here, but I mean, would it pass for OEM? No, but the metal sure is fine. Magnesium, nice flap. The plastic feels a little on the chintzy side, but that's a fine cover. This just kind of looks crappy. Ugh. The starter cover kind of leaves things to be desired. So I would, you know, this is definitely not a bad unit to use. The starter cover, probably OEM would be better, and sure, the top cover OEM would be better. So let's do the mod. So I'm just going to take a grinding disc and basically make a slice, fold it back, and open this up just a little bit, and we'll have a nice edge there, hopefully, that gives us a nice opening. So all I've done here really is just make a slice. And now I just have to effectively open it up. And these aftermarket mufflers are a little thin, so it actually works pretty well for this. Get a bigger screwdriver, get in there, start working her open, that's all. And at this point, I'm actually crimping this down as much as bringing that out. It's a pretty good size opening, actually. Now we have an opening. That will now flow. Now what you can do is, if you're going in here and you're hogging this whole thing out, you can do all the port matching, and a good easy way to do that is to take your deflector and stick it on there, you know, and see how well it's matched. And you can actually, you know, preferably with the cylinder head off, you take your deflector, bolt the deflector on, and do your port work, you're hogging it out, and the deflector will have the same shape. And then what you do is you take your deflector and go over to the muffler, stick it on there, and now you have an idea of where you want to be. So that's the technique to get those matched all the way through. And of course, if you're using a gasket, then yeah, it's going to be that too. So heck, I think I'm just going to bolt this down. I'm really none too happy with this muffler. I do not know why one sticks out more than the other. They're the same length. Cannot get that muffler to fit. This is the OEM muffler. And I'm going to modify this, but need the welder to do that. Let's see. Two M6 bolts. There we go. Get one started, line it up from the other side. Okay, the problem with this muffler here, if I'm going to use this one, is that, I mean, this is nice, I can open this up huge, but I need a deflector on there. I do happen to have these nifty-difty ones. From Red 97. And that should do. I might do. Pretty cool, huh? Just weld her on. And if it's too tight up against the flag, I can just bang it down a little bit. So I can open that up, weld her on, good to go. Handle feels pretty nice. Couple of coarse, about 1 inch long, threaded bolts for the handle here. Now, I don't remember what the length was for these. It looks pretty long, actually. Hopefully these are correct. And sometimes these handles have got to get bent a little bit to get them just into the right position. Everybody would rather these fit good right off the bat, but that's just not the case. Okay, 2 bolts on the bottom here. I don't think they're going to go through. That's good. Feels pretty stout right off the bat. Let's see if we can get a compression number. We had about 160, which I'd like a little higher, but that's fine. Okay, moment of truth. A little brake cleaner down the throat. Off, on, choke on. It pops immediately, that's good. Choke off. Well, we definitely have pop. So, unfortunately, I need more parts to finish the build. Just keep throwing money at this sucker. Oh well. Back to the 272. This is the OEM muffler, which I wasn't really planning on using, but I guess I'm going to use it. So the opening, or somebody had ground off the deflector that was on here, and I just opened it all the way up, and I've got a new deflector that's going to go on there. Now I've ground this and I've bent it and all that stuff, but the trick is going to have to be to get this somehow underneath that brake flag, and I think it'll do. I think this will be fine. So all I got to do now is I'm going to MIG weld this on there and put a little coat of paint on this, and we'll have a muffler for the 272. So off to the MIG welder. We'll be back. I can put the muffler on. I'm going to have to put this bracket on, but that means I got to take the dog back off, sort of, which is annoying, but whatever. Through the miracle of time travel, I've opened up the muffler here and welded this. So it's kind of not super pretty looking, but should be open up enough for Dave. You can hit this with some flat black, the high temperature stuff if you want. Couple of screws. These are indeed M6 bolts. Put the exhaust gasket on here. I believe that's the way that goes. Heat shield, usually wrap back around. Got to get one started. Once you get one started, then the other starts to go, no problem. Don't need it super tight yet, because we got to get that bracket on. So we got to pull this case bolt out. Now, I don't like the idea of pulling case bolts out. I don't think that's a really good thing, but whatever. I mean, gotta do it. I don't see any other way to do it. This case bolt has to come out. This case bolt gets loosened. Then you put this on here. And put your little M5 screws in. A little more Loctite on this guy here. Put this anterior case bolt back in. Pull this out too, re-Loctite it, put it back down. I'm not going to tighten anything up yet, I just want to, get it in there. Lower bracket bolt. Upper bracket bolt, also M5. This one might be a little funky because this is bent. Let's try it now. Good. So the two upper muffler bolts here. Alright, now that we have everything in line, I'd like to get these tight first. Good. Now we can tighten these bracket bolts down. Lower screw. Case bolts. Pretty complex setup just to pull the muffler, if you ask me. But nice and open exhaust. Again, if you're working in the woods, that's not the best, but get pulled over by a ranger, probably. Okay. Top cover. Happen to have some top cover screws here. 1, 2, 3. They're long and they're proprietary. Said it before, I'll say it again, this top cover is chintzy. But I think it'll work. 1, 2, over here 3. Clutch cover on. Seems like a fine unit. Got an outer dog here. There we go. One, 2. So now you've got a complete 272. Only missing a couple of screws and a couple of clips up top, but overall that's complete. Of note, I do have technically the correct fuel line here, but after looking at this and remembering the tank, the bump here, I don't think it'll go. I just don't think it'll go. So this is technically the correct fuel line, 501, 28, 5902. And yeah. Now I gotta go see if she fires. But that's more or less how a good old-fashioned 272 goes together. oil cap. Of course you get that. So, recommendations. Well, after doing this, just looking at it, I would recommend the aftermarket clutch cover, because that looks like it's fine. The top cover works, obviously, but chintzy. Starter cover, prefer OEM. Yeah. The aftermarket muffler was not so good. So, this... I may need to actually hammer down the exhaust a little bit because it looks a little chubby. A little tight up against this, huh? Dave will appreciate it. So, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate you watching this 272 video to the end. Hopefully more stuff coming. Stay tuned.